lay out my Operation Thor kit and go over everything that I've got for it. This is very much a work in progress. There's still a lot of stuff that I'd like to get, and when we get to that stuff, I'll go over it. But for now, I think it's pretty solid. Solid enough to make a video about at least. So now let's get into it. So starting up here, I have an original single stitch t-shirt. This is the most common type that you would have seen Marines wearing around this time. You also see the ones with the much bigger U-collars. The shirts are pretty rare and weirdly expensive if you do find them, so sadly I don't have one. But if I can find one, I will definitely be buying one. Around my neck, I'm just wearing regular dog tags on a regular dog tag chain, friction taped together. Nothing crazy about that. On my right wrist, sorry, I'll be wearing a ID bracelet. This one was my great-grandfather's, so it's period accurate. It's also engraved. That's my aunt's name, but it has his childhood address on the back of it, sterling silver. Over here, I have a Westclox watch. I believe it's from 1960 or 61. And then I just have it on a thick watch band from the 90s. That was my dad's. Looks the same, but is a little farby, and I want to get a thin leather one and or one of the elastic metal ones. Moving down, I've got a pair of 67 dated boxers. Nothing crazy about these. Some guys didn't wear them, some guys did. Personal preference. These ones I sewed the fly closed on all three of my pairs because the fly is probably 6 or 7 inches, which is just insane for any kind of underwear. Terribly uncomfortable, as you can imagine, but yeah, I wear them because it's more comfortable to wear boxers. Moving down, I have a pair of reproduction second pattern poplin pants from War Price Glory. They're a little too small for me, and I cut the bottoms of them off, so they're really short. Not too short to where they look stupid, but short. So I will be replacing them with either bigger ones or third pattern poplin pants when I can buy them. Hopefully sometime next week. But yeah, as my trouser belt, I have a cut up suspender, which you see not super often, but there's a decent amount of Marines with them. Really useful and handy because all you have to do is unclip this and you can take your belt off if you need to, or take your pants off or whatever. Moving down, I have a 1966 dated Zippo in really nice shape. Works. I just have a pocket knife. No idea who it's made by. It's a double bladed one, but one of the blades is broken, so that kind of sucks. Knife is really sharp though. And then I have a post-war sea ration spoon. I'd like to get an original one at some point soon, but really the only difference is these are semi-translucent, as you can see, and then wartime ones are just flat white. I could probably throw up a picture of what an original one looks like. I'll also throw up pictures of guys with the suspender belts. Moving down, I have a sweat towel. This is a 2-banded one. You see these pretty rarely. Most of the ones that you see are just these thick bands at the end, but this is an original one. This and the single banded one are pretty much the only ones you see in Vietnam. It's really hard to tell though, because there's not a lot known about sweat towels for some reason. Moving over, I have 2 plastic bags. Guys would not have had Chuhoy bags in July of '68. I believe they started getting them in '69 and they became common in '70. So guys would improvise just with any plastic bags they could get. So I just carry those. I don't carry anything in them, but I have them in case I need them. Pretty much almost gone roll of friction tape. can carry this, electrical tape, 100-mile-an-hour tape, green duct tape, whatever. Just don't carry gray duct tape. I think this is MRE toilet paper, just modern stuff, but it's almost exactly the same as Vietnam era stuff, just has writing on it. Vietnam ones don't have writing on them. This is my church key and P38. The church key is from the 60s, and then I have them connected together with a little piece of dog tag chain. This P38, I believe, is modern. I'd like to get a Korean War or Vietnam era one at some point. Moving down, I have some sea ration heating tablets, or just regular alcohol heating tablets still in there. And then I have an accessory packet with all of these contents in it. Most of them are original but post-war. This I made a couple years ago. These stimulants are made by my friend Connor. I don't know if guys had stimulants yet, but they were just in here. Kool-Aid also made by him. And I think there was gum in here at some point, but I chewed it. And then matches. Moving over, I have the glasses that I wear. These are 60s work glasses. But this style was pretty common in the 60s and quite popular, so just wear those with a pocket protector, just cool because it's named to a guy from Illinois. And then I have my sunglasses. These are just from the 40s. Pretty cool looking though. See my reflection in them. Moving down a little farther, I have my 66 dated third pattern Byram jungle boots. I've been wearing them a lot around recently, trying to get most of the polish off of them. Just wearing them naturally. Very nice boots. Super comfortable when you actually break them in. I went hiking in them the other day and they were fantastic. You just have to be careful about the soles cracking. Mine are starting to crack. They usually crack here and here. But these boots are still practically brand new, so they have a lot of life left in them. And I'd be wearing black socks, which you do see with Marines a lot. Thor is a cool operation because you see white socks as well, and Kentucky too as well. Guys with white socks, just pretty cool. I'd like to get a couple pairs, but I have no idea how to find them, or even how to know if they're military or not. But yeah, that covers it for my uniform and pocket stuff. Next we'll move to helmet, flak, and web gear. Alright, so starting with my helmet, I have a 64 dated long flap helmet cover. It's in a really nice shape, nice and salty. Same helmet cover that I used in my what was it, Pipestone Canyon impression. Same helmet as well. Long flap. This is on a World War II front seam McCord shell with Vietnam chin straps. For my liner, I have a P64 airborne liner with a 69 dated sweatband. Liner is 64, or sweatband is 69 dated, liner is 67 dated. There are a couple guys with these in Thor. I'll throw a picture of a guy with one. But yeah, pretty nice. Actually, very nice liner. These are not super common in Thor from the footage and pictures that I've seen. Most guys just appear to have regular ones, and if they do have airborne liners, the suspension is tucked in, or the chin straps are tucked in to the suspension. But yeah, pretty much any Vietnam accurate helmet liner you can use. So like P55, P64, airborne liners, World War II liners, Korean War rewebs, whatever. Just as long as they're not the ones with the removable suspension. Moving down to stuff I carry on my helmet. It's very common to see guys in Thor with bandages in their helmets, and like insect repellent bottles. So I have a small rubber inner tube band. Some guys have pretty big ones. Most of them are small like this if they have one. I have 2 bandages. Nothing crazy. And then a reproduction insect repellent bottle. Then moving down to my flak, I have a 3rd pattern M55 or Okinawa rebuild. These flaks are sort of common in Thor. The most common are 1st patterns still. There are a couple guys with 2nd patterns, few 3rd patterns. I'll throw up pictures of all the guys that I've seen in Thor. But yeah, pretty much just it's a basic 3rd pattern, nothing crazy about it. In the top pocket, I carry a cigarette or crush-proof cigarette case. This is a cool vinyl 60s one. With cigarettes in it, matches. In the pen pocket, I carry I believe 50s Eversharp pencil, or early 60s. And then I carry a big crystal. This is an accurate old with a filled cap. You do see guys with these in Vietnam. I believe there's a guy with one. He's an RTO and he's either graffitiing his helmet or he has a piece of paper pressed up against his helmet and he's writing something. Going to the flak itself, I guess. It's in pretty good shape. Has some decent plate wear on the sides here. Zipper is pretty much completely destroyed, or at least this part of it is, which sucks because it has all of the teeth and the pull still with the string, and it still has the original rope and the collar. But yeah, it's stained with a bunch of dirt too, which is cool. Has both shooters cords, and then it has writing on the inside. All of the 3rd patterns I've ever seen have this. I don't know what it is or what it means, but yeah, there's the tag. Anyway, moving down to the stuff I carry in my pockets. This pocket I have 2 smoke grenades. These are both post-war, but they're good stand-in for originals. I will be getting an original yellow smoke grenade soon, but as of now, I have 2 post-war ones. In the other pocket, I have my boonie. This is a 68 data poplin boonie. You don't really see guys wearing hats very much in the footage, but assuming they would have had 8 points, poplin boonies, and bush hats of all different variety. And then I have an empty bandolier in the pocket just in case I want to ditch the web gear and move lighter, just with 2 bandoliers. Most of the guys in the footage have 1 or 2 bandoliers. There are not a lot of guys with ammo pouches and not a lot of guys with a ton of web gear, so I'm assuming they would have ditched it and just put their mags in their pockets or in bandoliers or whatever is comfortable for them. But yeah, that is my flak. I'll move up to the web gear now. Alright, so web gear is pretty basic, nothing crazy to it. This is a pretty cool web gear setup that a couple guys have in the footage, but it's just a pair of M56 suspenders, which I'm wearing over top of my flak, which a bunch of guys are doing in the footage, which is a really neat detail. It's also really comfortable. But all of my web gear sits on it's a horizontal weave M61 belt, size medium. Really nice shape, not missing any eyelets at all. Moving down, I have a 44 data Junga first aid kit. Just has modern stuff in it. Stuff that we'd actually need on a reenactment. Plus guys would have been taking bandages out of their Junga first aid kit, so most of the time they would have been pretty empty, if not completely empty. You don't see a lot of guys with them anyway on their flaks or their belts, if they're wearing a belt. So I think they either put them on their packs or they just ditched them entirely and took the bandages out. Anyway, I have a M56 magazine pouch. This is a just a regular, I believe 67 pattern or 66 pattern, second pattern M56 mag pouch. There are a couple guys with first patterns, but I only have one, and it's extremely salty. So chose not to use it because all of the web gear kind of matches itself in terms of wear and color. So just like to keep it consistent. In here, I have 3 original 20 rounders. I'd like to get 1 more for each pouch to carry 4, but I've only got 3 for now, so that's what I carry in them. Nothing crazy, just a regular M56 mag pouch. And get it closed. Not easy with one hand. There we go. Yeah, I think, yeah, this one's missing the suspender hook thing to attach it to the hooks on the suspenders. But yeah, this one does, and it is not attached to the belt or suspenders, so none of the guys have them like that. I don't even think I could do it because they're on the side of the belt, not the front. So the pouches are not attached to the suspenders. Moving next to that, I have a bayonet, just an M7, tucked in between the pouch and the canteen cover. This is a, from what I believe from reading the military forum, a very stereotypical mid-war bayonet. Bayonet setup, I should say, scabbard and bayonet itself. You would have seen this type of bayonet from 64 to 67, I believe it said. But scabbard is made by PWH. This is the blade, very nice shape. I believe it is Canada. And they had a contract of M7s between 64 and 67. And then PWH also had a contract for scabbards between that time. So would have been a pretty common bayonet and scabbard setup that you would have seen with Army and Marines in Vietnam. Moving into the center of the belt, I have 3 first pattern M56 canteen covers. There are some guys with 4, and then there are a couple guys with butt packs that have a bunch of canteens, like 5 or 6 on the belt. But I chose to go with 3. It looked like the guys I was copying had about that many, 3 or 4. This is a lot more comfortable to set up though with 3. But I believe they're all 64 dated, if not 63, but they're early, all in really nice shape. UDC M1910 canteen covers on the belts. That was the first web gear setup that I had when we first did Thor last summer for our 2024 event, which I'll leave linked in the description if you want to watch it. But I prefer M1956 canteen covers on the belt. They don't sag as much, and when you walk, they don't flop as much, which is nice. And they hold the weight better to the belt than M1910s do. And then moving over to this side, I have stuff on my lightweight frame. I have a second M56 mag pouch with 3 more magazines in it. This one has the clip on it. Not using it though. But yeah, pretty cool web gear setup. I think I'm gonna kind of adopt this web gear setup for other stuff. It's super nice, especially with it over the flag. But yeah, and then for my canteens, I have 3 originals. I believe they're all 66 dated. 66. This is a really nice one. Also 66. It's a really nice plastic. And then that one, I have a 45 dated aluminum canteen cup, rolled edge too, which is cool. 45 dated. And then this is another another 66 dated canteen. So yeah, pretty light load. Not a bunch of stuff on the belt. And then finishing off the web gear, I have a April 67 dated bandolier with 7 more mags in it. These are all also original 20 rounders. Web gear in Thor is very inconsistent. Not a lot of guys have a bunch of stuff. Some guys have a lot. Most guys have a little. Usually you see just belts with canteens on them and mags and bandoliers or pockets. So it's really labor intensive to come up with a web gear setup, especially if you're basing it off a bunch of guys. Just from how much footage and pictures you have to look through and how many times you have to rewatch the footage. Trust me. But yeah, this is a web gear setup I've kind of come to adopt. I really like this setup, so I think this is what I'm going to go with from now until I have to change it again for the next Marine impression we do. But moving down to the final part, I'll be going over my pack setup, pack contents, and my rifle. Alright, so starting up here, I have my leather hygiene bag. This one's made by Swank. I think it's from the 50s. This bag is kind of huge and I kind of want to replace it. But it is really nice because it protects all the fragile stuff inside of it very well. So I might not, it's just really hard to pack in an M41 haversack. So yeah, anyway, inside of it I carry this plastic bag with a bunch of V-mail letters in it. I'd like to actually fill these out and put mail in them at some point. And then I have a book. It's 67 copyright, date Man in the Iron Mask. And then under that I have a reproduction Captain America comic book. And then I just have it taped closed with 100-mile-an-hour tape, just green duct tape. It kind of looks like it. Moving up into the hygiene stuff, I do not have a lot of hygiene stuff, and I'd really like to get some more before reenacting season starts again. But I have a soap dish, courtesy of Daniel Liu. It's just green plastic, looks 60s, could probably be from the 60s, I don't know. And then I just have a regular shaving mirror, nothing crazy. A comb, which I don't really need because I don't have a lot of hair, but still nice to have in case you need it for something, I don't know. Blousing bands. I'm not blousing my pants right now for this impression. I'm either straight legging them or cuffing them or tucking them into the boots, but also still nice to have in case you do want to blouse your pants. Then I have a 60s travel toothbrush container with a toothbrush in it. It's not a period toothbrush. It's just a modern one, but it looks like a period toothbrush. I think, what is it? Yeah, this side, it's broken, which kind of sucks, but toothbrush doesn't fall out yet, so I'll use it until it completely breaks. Then I have a nail file, my razor, which is just a Gillette safety razor, scissors, tweezers, a floss container, no floss in it, but I'll put some in there eventually, and then aspirin. I have no idea if this bottle or package is accurate, but it has actual aspirin in it. And then the last thing I carry in there is a unopened accessory packet. This is also a post-war one, but I'm working on finding some cheap originals, or my friend Christian has been trying to reproduce them, and he's done a pretty damn good job at it so far, so hopefully we'll be able to use some reproduction ones. Moving over, I have my cleaning kit for the M16. This has the rod, the bore brush, the toothbrush, and then LSA and bore cleaner in it with patches. The carrier itself is 69 dated. I'd like to get a 68 dated one, but they didn't change between then, besides the date. I think the color on them is a little lighter, but yeah, it's a really nice one. not much to say about it. Then moving up, Operation Thor is pretty well known for guys having big ass sea ration socks. So I just have a bunch of sea rations. They're like pretty much all post-war, I think. There are a couple 71 dated ones, but most of them are from a 1980 dated MCI. Yeah, nothing crazy. And then I have a sea ration stove made out of an original can. I think also a 1980 dated B2 unit. And then that's the sock that I carried in. You can see how stretched out it is from carrying cans in it. Then moving down to the actual stuff I carry in the pack and on the pack itself. This is a third pattern Poplin jungle fatigue jacket. Pretty nice shape, has some ghosting on it. I will hopefully be getting a slightly nicer and longer one soon from my friend Connor, which I'll put in the update video, because when I upload this one, I plan on taking it down when I get the rest of the stuff I need and then re-uploading it and just making a better video to begin with. Then I have a divisional sweater. This one's unmarked, which is really cool. It's named too. This is a recent purchase. But yeah, guys would have been carrying all kinds of cold weather stuff. Jungle sweaters, these, hoodies from home. Any of you know who Dennis Manion is, he had a hoodie shipped to him in Vietnam. So that's not uncommon to see. Then I have extra pair of underwear, just one, and then an extra t-shirt that I kind of cut into a muscle shirt or a tank top. That's just a modern Marine Corps t-shirt. Moving up, I have an MX 991-U flashlight without the guards. This one works, and it has all the lenses in the bottom. Nothing crazy about that. It's an angle head. The military still issues them. And then all of my extra socks, clean, dry socks were a commodity in Vietnam, for a good reason. So carry as many as I possibly can. And then moving over a little bit more, I have my other canteen. This is an M1910 canteen, 66 dated canteen and a 51 dated cover that goes on the side of the pack. And then I have a 45 dated shovel cover, the 44 dated shovel on that. Marines were still very much being issued World War II surplus, so not uncommon to see 1910 and World War II shovels still being used. Then under that, I have a 67 dated air mattress. This one's crinkly and leaks. I'd like to get a nicer one at some point, but for now, that's good enough. Especially since we're not doing any reenactments, it's so cold, so. Yeah, I'm sure they leaked on guys in the field and they just coped with it, so. And then final thing in the pack is some shelter half ropes. These are super utilitarian. You can pretty much use them for anything. Tie them together, tie hooches with them, what have you. It's either I carry these 4 or I'll carry a bundle of paracord, depending on how heavy the operation is, how long we're doing it for, and what I'll have to be using it for. For lighter stuff like this, 10 ropes are fine. And then finishing it up with the pack, this is a transitional M41 haversack. Probably Korean War era. I don't think it's a World War II one. But roll top, of course, complete. There's like no corrosion on any of the buckles. I believe this is unit marked, the 51 here, and then it's named, and some kind of paint marker, so probably Vietnam. Flipping it to the back, it's also unit marked here. If that's what that means, I don't really know what the number means. It's just stenciled in black paint. Like I said, complete, has all the straps. All the buckles are super nice. But yeah, and then final part of the pack is a P65 lightweight rucksack frame. Operation Thor is really cool in having a few Marines use lightweight frames. I'll add a couple pictures and snippets from the footage of lightweight frames being used. There's a guy with a lightweight bag. I don't know if he's a cameraman or correspondent or whatever, but it's low mounted and the bag's open and a bunch of the stuff is kind of falling out. But yeah, you know, just a basic P65 lightweight frame. Has an original waist strap, an original top strap. I have a couple of original cargo straps, but Marines wouldn't have been using them from what I've seen. They just had frames like this. Flipping it over to the other side, it's not missing any rivets, super worn, which is cool. It's not splitting or cracking or breaking or anywhere. Besides up here, one of the, most of these are pulling off of the frame, but the rivets haven't broken yet, and then so this one is sheared off, but yeah, post is still strong. So original shoulder straps. This one isn't a quick release. It should be. I don't know why or even what this strap is, but it is a lightweight rucksack strap, I think. And then this would be fine. It's just the right one with the D-ring. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the pack. Not too crazy. Pretty light load, I guess. Taking out the water and ammunition, grenades and everything. Grenades are one thing I'd like to get, but yeah, that's everything I'd be wearing and carrying. And finally, we'll go over my rifle. All right, and finally we have my rifle. It is a WI.P M16A1 airsoft gun. I can't build a clone M16 right now, so airsoft will be what I use until I can do that. But anyway, very, very nice rifle. I've repainted it, added a hydromatic DoD stamp to it. I sanded it before I painted it too, so you can see these little scratches with the bare metal is showing, which is pretty cool. I've defarbed a couple things about it so far. It had the ambidextrous indicator on this side of the selector that I sanded off. Of course, I repainted the whole thing. Painted the flash hider because it was just orange tip, but there's a couple more things I have to do to it. I need to replace the furniture. Buttstock is farb because it's an E-type stock or an A21. I need to replace the rear sight aperture. I need to replace the dust cover. I need to replace the front sight as well. But besides that, it functions like a real M16. Gas blowback, of course, has recoil, which is cool. Overall, yeah, it's a very nice rifle and a good stand-up for the M16A1. Alright, and that was my Operation Thor kit as of now. Plan on making an update, like I said, within the next month. So stay tuned for that. As well as a 4th Battalion, 31st Infantry Regiment, 196 LAB kit for February 1970. I'll probably make that video in April sometime before we go up to Connecticut for that event. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.